Tonight, our special transmission as a report reveals the use of US-made bombs in a recent Israeli attack on a United Nations-run school in Gaza. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Zahra Sayed. Today is the 246th day since the onset of Israel's war. Palestinian Health Ministry reports in the past 24 hours, at least 77 Palestinians have been killed. 221 have been injured. A spokesperson for Al-Aqsa Martyrs Hospital has confirmed the fatalities and the injuries. The hospital in Deir al-Balah is struggling with severe shortages of fuel, equipment, and medical supplies. Israeli forces are increasing the intensity and the frequency of attacks on central Gaza. Al-Burej and the Al-Maghazi camps, as well as Deir al-Balah, are constantly being targeted. A devastating airstrike on a United Nations-run school yesterday killed at least 40 civilians. Since October, 135 employees of the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees have been killed. Israeli settlers have attacked the town of Nablus in the occupied West Bank. An Israeli media outlet reports settlers threw stones at Palestinian residents. They set fire to houses and they cut down trees. The death toll from Israel's war continues to rise at an alarming rate. At the time of writing, at least 36,654 Palestinians had been killed. A revised report by the United Nations estimates another 10,000 civilians are buried under the rubble. 83,309 have been injured. Israel's death toll from Hamas's attacks stands at 1,139. Israel stands accused of genocide at the International Court of Justice. The court has ordered Tel Aviv to immediately halt its operations in the southern city of Rafah. Spain has announced it will be joining South Africa's genocide case against Israel at the International Court of Justice. Spain's Foreign Minister José Manuel Alvarez has made the announcement. This development makes Spain the second European nation following Ireland to support South Africa's case. Chile and Mexico have also joined the initiative, amongst other nations. The news comes after a recent application by the Palestinian Authority to become a party in South Africa's case. If approved by the court, this request could empower Palestinian authorities to appoint an ad hoc judge of their choice to the court's panel. Israel has reportedly used US-made explosives to target a United Nations school serving as a shelter for displaced Palestinians in central Gaza. The explosives are GBU-39 bombs. An analysis by the CNN reveals the bombs killed 40 Palestinians. The casualties include women and children. 74 civilians have been injured. The Israeli army claims to have targeted Hamas fighters in the compound. However, both Hamas and the refugees deny these claims. This marks the second incident in a week where U.S. weapons have been used by Israeli forces. Previously, Israel targeted Rafah with U.S.-made bombs. Amnesty International has documented multiple cases where the U.S.-supplied arms have been used against Palestinians. A few weeks ago, the U.S. paused a weapons transfer to Israel. However, it later announced over $1 billion in additional arms aid. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is set to address a joint session of the United States Congress on July 24th. The invitation has been extended by the top 4 congressional leaders. Netanyahu will speak on Israel's stance on democracy, combating terrorism, and regional peace. Netanyahu has expressed gratitude for the opportunity. He says he intends to present Israel's perspective on self-defense against threats. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says America's relationship with Israel is ironclad and transcends one person or prime minister. Senator Bernie Sanders is boycotting the address. He calls Netanyahu a war criminal. The Biden administration has imposed sanctions on the Lions' Den, a Palestinian armed group. The group has been penalized under Executive Order 14,115. The order was initially designed to penalize violent Israeli settlers. The United States accuses the group for threatening peace and security. The group was formed in 2022. Most of its members hail from the city of Nablus in the occupied West Bank. The group has been linked to attacks against Israeli forces. The sanctions freeze the group's assets and restrict American engagement with them. The decree has been used sparingly for sanctioning Israelis. Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen has urged sanctions against Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich for annexing land in the West Bank. A British advocacy group has lodged a criminal complaint against a UK-born former Israeli official for allegedly aiding intentional starvation and other war crimes in Gaza. The complaint has been submitted by the International Center of Justice for Palestinians to the Metropolitan Police. The complaint alleges the official supported the blockade of essential supplies to Palestinians. The group accuses the official of providing cover for illegal acts by the Israeli government and the military. It says the official has been inciting attacks on Palestinians and Muslims. Evidence includes the official's statements. These statements undermine UN aid efforts and promote violence against medical facilities. The individual, whose identity remains confidential, could face 7 counts of serious international law violations if the accusations are proven. This marks the 3rd complaint filed by the group since January. The group's director says it will accept nothing less than a thorough and impartial investigation. The European Union has dismissed accusations of antisemitism leveled against its foreign policy chief, Josep Borrell. In a press conference, European Union spokesperson for foreign affairs and security policy has vehemently rejected any insinuations of antisemitism against Borrell. He says the accusations are baseless. He says Borrell's actions are aimed at reinforcing the European stance on global affairs, including the complex situation in the Gaza Strip. He says Borrell is dedicated to fostering a lasting resolution that upholds the legitimate security concerns of both Israelis and Palestinians. He says such diplomatic efforts should not be misconstrued as anti-Semitic actions. Montreal police have responded with tear gas to a peaceful sit-in at the McGill University campus. The Free Palestinian demonstrators barricaded themselves yesterday in the administration building in Montreal. The demonstration was arranged by the group Solidarity for Palestinian Human Rights McGill. The protesters' aim was to draw attention to Palestinian struggles. Their demands included cutting ties with companies connected with Israel's war, such as Lockheed Martin, Elbit Systems, and Thales. Students waved a Palestinian flag from windows before the police intervened. Thank you for watching. Our news is produced by Muslim Network TV, which is a not-for-profit organization. We need your support for donations. Please scan the QR code on our broadcast or visit muslimnetwork.tv to donate now, so we can continue to amplify the voices of Muslims in Canada and abroad. Assalamu alaikum.